It doesn't look that bad, huh?
If I look better up close, no, probably not. Anyways,
Yeah,
so yeah,
however you want to set it up for yourself. I don't know. We gotta get you like a mic stand or something.
yeah, probably that would probably look better.
Yeah, because I feel like people look better with the camera aiming down at them than up like this.
Yeah,
But
I could.
you look good, man. You look handsome.
I, I, I look handsome. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
You,
I appreciate it, Count. Go ahead.
you know, we haven't done a show for like fucking years. It's fun. Hey, you know, I have a surprise for you. I'm recording now, by the way.
You are not.
I
Or is that the surprise?
No, I just started recording. No, the surprise was a little video. Hold on, let me show you.
Oh God, look at this. What's happening?
Too much joke.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
So Curry boards.
Here, hold on.
Finals.
Right, man. I actually did look younger.
Yeah, we
Cleveland's
looked.
performance. 4-1 series loss.
This was
What do you make?
2017.
This
I mean,
So this
it
was
was
6
kind of
years
to be
ago.
expected. I
Oh.
think we both,
I guess the
you know,
Cavs
finally
just lost
picked
to the
to win.
Warriors.
I just think
Yeah.
Cavs played it all.
Let's hear
wrong.
some
They
Vlad
played it all
analysis.
wrong. They knew that they were playing against teams that's
Yeah.
more talented they are, has better offensive players, has more offensive weapons. Why would you run with them? Why would you play that up and down breakneck
This
pace?
is
It doesn't
hilarious.
make
This
sense.
is great.
It defies all logic. You're supposed to slow it down, play half court.
I wonder what the hell I'm saying. I mean, I think I remember.
More.
Just
Try to,
like
attack the boards, get them in foul trouble, get their
Yeah.
front line in foul trouble, do
Yes.
something. The way they were defending him, like Durant was like scoring at will, Curry was just draining threes. Even Thompson got hot a couple of games. They were not gonna
With your
overcome
rest
that.
in peace
They don't have
NBA
the talent.
t-shirt.
Nobody has the talent to compete with this team.
Hmm.
No one.
I remember.
As good as LeBron is, as fantastic as he played in the series,
Is there supposed to be sound from?
Oh,
or
you
not?
don't
Or
you don't
no?
hear the sound?
No, I don't hear
That
it.
sucks. I guess I couldn't figure that out. Well, I really just wanted to show how we look like because damn, we were younger. We got me with
Yeah.
my short ass head. I was skinny too. I'm fucking fat now, but
Yeah, yeah, you were skinnier for sure, and you had that short fade you had going,
yeah,
the no facial hair at all. Can't believe no facial hair rule at that time. He was like the New York Yankees, no facial hair.
yeah.
Uh,
So we looked a little different, I guess. Whatever, but. Anyways,
Yeah.
you were talking NBA here. This was when the Cavs lost to the Warriors.
I remember.
And
yep, I remember.
they couldn't hang with KD. So
Yeah, I do remember
anyways,
this.
try to start the show. We're
So how are we
supposed-
gonna do it? Is it gonna be like in segments or something? How is it gonna work? You're just gonna talk nonstop for an hour?
Well, let's just
If we're gonna start talking straight for an hour, I gotta make a phone call, get my tea, and then we can start. How about that?
No, yeah, that's totally cool. No, I mean, for a second, I guess we could just introduce you. You're Vlad. You're my friend. We're supposed to. I'm Kahan. We're supposed to be doing a wrestling podcast here now. This time, right? It's not basketball anymore. We're wrestling.
No.
You were the NBA expert.
So am I gonna be the wrestling expert? Am I the wrestling expert?
Well, if anybody's a wrestling expert, it's you, not Dave Meltzer.
So then, are you also going to be considered a wrestling expert, or am I the honorary wrestling expert that you bring on to discuss wrestling?
I would consider you the honorary, wrestling expert.
I'm the honorary oos. Got it.
Yes, and I'm just hosting the show, and I guess I'll throw in my opinion too. But
Okay. So
you
you're
know,
you play the sort of Brian Last version of this type of thing, right? Sort of.
yeah. Well, to tell if there's an audience for this, if there's ever going to be an audience, we do listen to some of the podcasts that are already going around. We're fans. Well, you're a Cornette fan. I like his show too. I listen to all the other stuff too sometimes. I try to listen to Disco and Conan.
I
And
can't do that.
I know they're difficult to listen to, but you know,
Too many voices, too many things being said at once. Can't make out what they're even trying to say for the most part. They're not very, it's not very organized over there.
and they seem to not even fucking watch the show. Like they're doing a podcast about the show and they're like, "Yeah, I didn't even watch it because it fucking sucked." You know, so yeah, I mean, okay, I watched the show last night. We're gonna try to do a review, I guess, on Dynamite today. That's basically all we're gonna do. We're not gonna talk about like everything
we could
in
do
the
a
fucking
review on
history of
Dynamite.
wrestling.
I think it's fair. I mean, I didn't make any obvious notes, but I did. I kind of want to look through what I texted you yesterday as I was watching it because there's some good stuff there. I don't think there was anything out of this world, but just kind of want to look through it real quick just so I could have it there, just so I could kind of,
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I took notes last night. I got the whole show here, segment by segment. I could
great. That's very detailed. That's probably already way better than any of these podcasters.
Well,
let me
Cornette,
tell you that are except for Cornette,
Cornette does that, dude.
Yes.
He writes down every
Cornette
fucking move that they do. And we're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go through every goddamn move. We're just here to like say if we liked the show or if we didn't. And you know, you're down.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I can't. No, I mean, I didn't. I obviously did not. Wasn't in the wrestling business. I can't go move for move. What spot should have come next? Where they messed up. I could just tell you if it was good, where it was bad, why it was bad, and things like that. I can't break it down as well as Cornette maybe, but in certain details, like detail for detail. But I can tell you what worked and what didn't work and why, for sure.
Well, so before I let you go get your tea.
Yeah, before we do that.
I guess we'll just say in general, like it's kind of funky that we have an idea to do a wrestling podcast, and yet let's just call a spade a spade. You're down on the show. Mm-hmm. You're down on the business.
No, well, yeah, but at least I'm watching, which is better than I thought it would. I didn't think it was going to happen. I mean, yes, overall, I'm down on AEW because there was a promise made that this would be like the next big thing in wrestling, and that they would. I didn't expect them to overtake WWE, but they're not even in that dimension. I mean, we don't want to go too far. We'll review the show, but I just want to say they're not even in that dimension. So there was a promise made that they would be revolutionary, and unless some miracle happens within the next whatever amount of years, it just doesn't look like it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to be pretty depressing. In fact, the way they're going, it's like the Titanic sinking.
Okay, so hold on right there. Let me stop you. So that right there is probably going to alienate a certain amount of people, because why would you why would you start a wrestling show if you're not even you don't even like it? Okay.
Well, we're not just going to review AEW. We'll review. I mean, no, I like wrestling in general as a concept. I've been watching since the early 90s. I started watching then, so it's not like I have a respect for wrestlers and wrestling in general, but this current AEW product is only for a very select few fans, and it's not for anybody that liked 90s wrestling or liked even early 2000 wrestling or liked whatever. It's just for the people that like independent wrestling, and that's fine if you're one of those people, but there's not enough of you, unfortunately, to make it a must watch, make it into the mainstream. It's not going to be mainstream. AEW is never going to be, even though it's on a nationally televised TNT network, it's never going to be mainstream. So I'm sorry if I've alienated you, but that's just the fact. Nobody's watching the show. Not enough people are, I should say. They're hardly getting 1 million people, if that. Most of the time, they're getting somewhere between 800,000 to 1 million people watching their main show. They've given up on their secondary show. They just released a behind-the-scenes show, which is obviously just brutally fake and total bullshit. I tried to watch it yesterday. It was on yesterday. It was right after. It was bad. Nobody believes. I mean, it's worse than their wrestling because even their behind-the-scenes stuff is bullshit. It's like a work. They're working it's like it's complete work on their behind. So there's not even behind the scenes. It's like they're trying to act that there's some friction and there's some problems and whatever. It's nonsense. It's total bullshit. But yeah, okay. But I'm a fan of wrestling. Is the point. That's why I've gotten back into wrestling. AEW. I'll give AEW this. It did get me back into wrestling. Now I watch it now just to see if there's anything good that comes from it. We discovered MJF because of it, who I think is an amazing talent, wasting away in this secondary minor league company that's not going anywhere. Again, okay, maybe I'm saying too much early on, but that's just let's just get that out of the way. That's the case.
Yeah. We'll say yes. There have been positives that you like, namely MJF and
MJF is the big positive.
Punk when he was there, right?
Yes.
You were a Punk guy.
He was great. Well, his stuff with MJF was great. I'm not saying that he had a flawless, his time in AEW was flawless. He had some good matches with some people. He had some appearances that I didn't really like. Well, like what? Like he was. I remember there was a time where he was just fighting everybody. Like he was going 20 minutes with guys that weren't even on TV. And I didn't like that because I'm like, well, what's the point? None of these guys are ever going to be used well anyway. So what's the point of giving them the type of shine to go 20 minutes and you have to like really work so hard to beat them? Like, okay, I went 20 minutes with, God, who did he go? Like, right? There's so many guys.
Garcia.
Daniel Garcia's one, yeah. Which they had some. There was some hope. I guess they're high on. I just think they're high. There's nothing in Daniel Garcia. He does. Whatever. If anybody sees a superstar in Daniel Garcia right now, man, woo, and I don't know, man, I'm just not seeing it. Like I said, years down the line, I could be proven wrong, and if I am, you could play this clip 100 times over. But Daniel Garcia, what's his name? Yuta, what the hell is his first name?
Wheeler Yuta. Yeah.
Wheeler.
Wheeler Yuta.
now I do feel like Conan.
Yeah.
Wheeler Utah.
Dude, I think Conan is just trying to act like he's a big shot and he doesn't know their names, but he knows their names. That's what I think. But I don't, Anyways.
Well, I think he may or may not. He was actually in their locker room, so he should know somebody's name. Like he was there first.
He's just trying to act like, yeah, I don't fucking know their name. Like I'm too cool to know their name or something. Like Cornette too. He knows their name. He just like. But anyway.
No, Cornette knows their names, but there's some Dark Order members he does not know their names. I don't think he cares enough to learn their name. He doesn't know which one's which. Like if you put. Like
I know which one's which at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know which one is which either. I know there's the little small one that's bald. His sidekick that's a little taller with the long hair, dark hair. There's Fat Uno. Grayson is back. He just came back recently to do what nobody knows. To do some jobs, I guess, for Moxley and Co. and that wonderful group. But anyways. Yes.
Well, yeah. So my point is that there's some things that you don't like. You don't like the long wrestling matches that have no stories or angles, and they're just like a spot fest. And you like certain angles, and you like certain guys like MJF and Punk, and I don't know if there's anyone else that you would even mention. I get, but But anyways, let's go.
There's some. Yes. Let's go. You want to go through it? But before we go through it.
Yeah. Go ahead and take your break. I gotta reset the microphones and everything. Check if it recorded and everything. So. Yeah.
Let's do that, and then come back, and then we'll do what you want to do.
We're back. Vlad's got his tea, and we're ready to go. So we're gonna review AEW. It's from March 29th. That was yesterday. We're hanging out the next day. It's Thursday now, and just before we dive into it, it is funky because we keep referencing Cornette in the podcast we listen to because they keep talking. They talk about this similar topics every week. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they just they keep repeating the same thing, it seems, or some things that they've talked about a million times, so they don't really dive into it as much. This is the first time we'll be talking about everything, so it's going to be kind of difficult not to really talk about like every single little detail, But let's just see how it goes. So, all right, so the show started with Jungle Boy versus Matt Hardy. with Ethan Page. Nothing for Ethan Page.
Yeah, plenty for Ethan Page. Just plenty of just horrible gimmicks, terrible situations.
Well, there was a Ethan
plenty
Page.
for Ethan Page.
Ethan Page sucks chant broke out over the audience. You know, while he was just poor guy's just standing there, trying to be a valet to Matt Hardy. Okay.
Yeah.
The whole Matt Hardy crew with Stokely and Ethan Page. It's it's
Nobody cares.
somewhere we can start. You see, this is a bad thing. I guess I liked it at first. I'll tell you, I like Ethan Page. I think he's got potential. I think he can talk. I think he works decently in the ring, and it looked like there was a time where he was gonna get a little bit of a run, but then this whole thing with what is it, the Firm? And they bought Matt Hardy's contract, right? That's the storyline. And he's like a slave to them.
I mean, does anybody care about this? Matt Hardy, Ethan Page.
I could
Stokely?
care about Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy.
Who wants this? Who cares about this? I'm trying to understand. Like, who's this for? Like, what is the point of it? I mean, Matt Hardy. Has had a great career. Him and his brother, in WWE. Tag team champions multiple times, revolutionary wrestlers, had crazy matches. Everybody knows their history. But that was a long time ago. He's not doing anything in 2023 for AEW, dude, okay? Ethan Page, good young athlete, looks good, strong, physical, could be something, I agree. Used horribly, booked as a jobber, loses almost every match. How can anyone take this seriously? Stokely, I mean, potentially could be like a really good annoying heel, like a la Jimmy Hart, maybe like a heel Jimmy Hart, like when I guess Jimmy Hart has been heel a lot of times back in his Memphis days, right? But whatever. The point is, he could be something, Stokely, but he's used as a comic manager. It's used very poorly. Nobody cares. The bottom line is, with this, nobody cares about it. And I think that just needs to be said.
That's because you initially said, who cares about Matt Hardy? And I'm like, well, I could care about Matt Hardy. I kind of like Matt Hardy. I liked broken Matt Hardy. I like when he goes nuts and and the whole crowd goes delete. They have the guy, but they're just jamming them into, it seems like a bad group and bad angles continuously. And
dude, Matt Hardy doesn't even know what he's doing anymore. He's constantly changing sides and characters. He was the heel, then he came back with his brother, then of course his brother had that thing. We don't need to discuss that personal stuff, but we know. And then anyway, so now he's back to being he was a face, then he's a heel, but then he's kind of working against Stokely and Ethan Page, but then they're kind of together at the same time. It's all nonsensical. But and nobody, I don't even know if the diehards of AEW care about this. Is my point. Like, can they? I mean, I guess, but why? Like,
I guess when you go to the stadium and watch the show,
it's so silly.
I know. I guess he's an attraction. If you go there and Matt Hardy's wrestling, it's like, hey, I know him. He was at WrestleMania, so he's somewhat of an attraction for the card still. But anyways, I'll move on. So they had a match. Jungle Boy, he's in the title hunt. He wants to fight MJF, and he needs a win, and he picks up a win. It was a match. I don't know. I can't say if it was a good match or not. I didn't honestly. I didn't really pay attention too hard. I was making some food, but he wins, obviously, predictably. He must win.
Sure.
Good solid win, and. After that, the show starts because MJF's music kicks in, and the champion rolls in to cut a promo. And
right away when his music hits, there's a change in the feeling of the show. Even with the audience, who obviously hates him, and he's done a good job of getting that heel heat back that maybe was lost for a while when the crowd was really into him. For a while, I think he's getting booed pretty significantly now again, which is great because he's when you think of a heel in wrestling, he's just the perfect heel. He does everything well. He lives the gimmick. It's great. And then the energy changed as soon as he came in. I mean, it always changes, but specifically if we're talking about this past week's Dynamite, it changed dramatically, and it felt like, oh, the show started. Now we can get to the wrestling portion of this program.
So he comes in, he cuts a promo on Jungle Boy. Not really. What did he say? He told him that he told him something when they fought at their pay-per-view match, and Jungle Boy.
He said a lot of. I mean, there was a lot of stuff he said.
He said he respected him in a way, and
they could have been friends. Yeah,
trying to put him over a bit because they might feud. So they got to make this seem like it's something, like it's important. And then Jungle Boy fires back.
Yes.
And actually has, what does he do? He calls him he said he wishes he was like him. He said he wishes he could be a piece of shit like he is so he could get ahead in life. But he needs to look himself in the mirror, right? To that effect, something to that effect.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish. No, go ahead.
No, I mean, it probably was his best work on the microphone, right?
I mean, this week and the week when he came out, and then Darby came out, and then Sammy Guevara came out. I thought those were pretty strong promos especially compared to his usual work, which is nothing on the mic, right? So this was a step, and I don't know who's getting this out of him. If he's doing it himself, or he's working with someone, or if MJF is helping him here along. I don't know where this is coming from, but I think it's a step in the right direction. He's actually talking on the mic, and it's good. It's not bad, actually. Some stuff that he's saying is pretty. I don't know. To me, it's good. I mean, at least way better than anything he's ever done prior 4 years? Yeah, 4 years. So this is his best work on the mic since he started.
I agree. I think this was good from both ends, and then they had a little brouhaha, they had a little fight, and
well, the only thing I'll ask you is he the right person to be feuding with MJF right now, or should it have been Darby? It shouldn't have been.
We don't
Sammy.
know. I guess it still could be. We don't they didn't really say for sure. I guess
right.
Like maybe next week there could be a Darby match and be like, well, he needs this win because we don't know who he's gonna fight. But it does
That's
seem
true.
like
We don't know, but it felt like this was the beginning of the feud, right? Like unless it's gonna be multiple people involved in this thing, but that would be a wrong way to go. I think at this point to have a triple threat or whatever. I mean, that would be crazy. It's have MJF have one guy that he's feuding with right now, not multiple people.
You never know with Toni Khan what he's thinking. It could very well end up being a triple threat or four-way. I mean, that's probably like his dream match, a four-way pillars match,
Oh my God, yeah. A pillars four-way match.
Yes. Yes.
No disqualification.
Yes.
Anything goes.
Now we're talking.
Falls count anywhere. Texas Death.
Yes, Texas Death Match. I'm down. Let's do it.
I'm just saying random things, and I'm sure Tony's like, if Tony was listening, he's like, yeah, that's great. That's good. That's what we're gonna do. With this bug-eyed Adderall eyes. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, let's not bash the owner, man. Well, we might end up bashing the owner, but for now, let's continue with our review. All right, we're back with the podcast. Thanks for listening, whoever's listening, if anyone out there's listening. But I had an issue. I guess I wasn't subscribed to Zoom, so I was listening to Vlad talk about his the MJF Jungle Boy segment, and suddenly a message came on and it said, you have 10 minutes left unless you pay us. And I'm like, what the fuck? All right, well, fine. So we gave him some money. Fuck it. It's all right. So
yeah, that sounds crazy.
Anyways, so we were talking about MJF and Jungle Boy. And MJF powdered out, right? Is that what happened? He ran away.
Yes. Jungle Boy. Yes, that's right. Jungle Boy
got the best of
him. First of all, best of him, and then he powdered out. Exactly. But I think you were going to talk about before that is if he's the right opponent for MJF right now, or you think there could be multiple opponents, but as far as right now, do you think that if who is currently in the company, Jungle Boy is as good a choice as any to be feuding with MJF.
I mean, if I really wanted to say who should be the next contender for the title,
Yeah.
I think it should be Darby Allin, because former TNT champion. I think he's had a better career overall than Jungle Boy, even though Jungle Boy did come off a big win off of Christian. I would like it to be Darby, and I want Darby to be champion, but I don't know. Maybe it's just not time for MJF to lose the belt. So maybe they can't do it because Darby's just gonna lose, I guess. So
right.
I mean, I don't really think it matters that much if it's Jungle Boy or Darby. I think both are fine. I think Sammy would have been weirder because he hasn't really been doing any singles matches at all. So I'll take Jungle Boy, to be honest, especially now that I've heard his promos and he's working well with MJF and he's a good worker. I was a big fan.
Yes.
Honestly, I was a fan of the Christian feud. It got cut off in the middle. There was a big break. It was weird. But every time they had to fight, it looked good. It didn't look amateur. They looked like they were fucking laying it in. And
yeah. And well, I will say the final burial match was a surprise that it actually was pretty good, and anybody that knew when that match was, I don't think anybody had any expectations for that match, and it turned out to be pretty solid.
Yeah, every time he got into it with Christian and they had like a little brawl or on the side of the ring, it always looked good. So I think him working with Christian helped him. I mean, because before that, he was very much just a high flyer type of guy, or just a spot fest type of guy, and they were working with the Young Bucks a lot when they were in the tag team division.
Right.
So
sure.
I think there has been progress, and now that the promos seem better, why not?
Yeah.
I'll go with this, okay? I'm fine with this. This is good. I mean...
Okay. And I agree. And I pretty much agree. I think this is the time. If it's not now, it's probably never.
And it's okay for Jungle Boy to lose. He can lose.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll probably have to get, cheated out of it, which is fine. MJF doesn't care if he cheats to win. He doesn't have to go over clean. No. It doesn't hurt his character. It probably helps his character. It definitely helps his character. So this is going to be good.
Well, yes, this helps him because he gets a rub. He might main event a pay-per-view for the title. This is a big step in the right direction for him if he's smart enough to seize the moment and do well here. Then maybe they could continue to push him even after he doesn't win. They could continue to do something with him. He has the ability. He can work with the right people. MJF is the right person. When he wrestles somebody that can kind of put a good match together, usually good things happen. And he looks good out there. When he wrestles the Young Bucks or whoever, usually ends up just being a mess.
Yeah,
so this is a step in the right direction.
That's what I was gonna say. I had the thought that if this is gonna be good, for sure it's gonna be good. But if this feud ends and he goes back to something else, he's working.
Oh, like something that's beneath him and MJF.
Yes.
Well, is this be yes, but yeah. Well, that is a concern that he's going to go back to the silly matches and the stuff like that. But hopefully this will be like a growing experience. Like he'll become better being a part of this story and this angle and being a part of getting that rub working with MJF.
Yeah, hopefully he learns from it and he doesn't just, do silly things after this, I guess. I mean, I like the serious Jungle Boy, but his name is still Jungle Boy, so I don't know.
Yeah, he needs to drop the Jungle Boy stuff. He needs to change his theme. Nobody's going to take him serious. I know the fans love it. Oh, whatever. It's all great and fun, but come on. I mean, is it to be taken seriously as this is the ultimate, this is the baby face, the number one baby face in the company type of thing? I mean, he has the face. He's a good-looking kid. He looks like a legit wrestler. I mean, whatever, you could say he's a little bit small, but whatever. I mean, I think that's not a big deal in this case because there's so many small wrestlers at this point. There's very few, heavy-set large wrestlers nowadays that it doesn't even matter. I mean, he's not that much smaller than MJF that it's not. It's believable that they're in the ring together, type of thing. So it's fine. The only thing is, like, yeah, he should change his theme.
So he should just be Jack Perry.
Based. Should be just Jack Perry. Yeah, absolutely.
What about
Jack
what
Perry.
about Jungle Man? Jungle Man.
I thought of that too, because somebody's always going to say. In fact, MJF probably will say in one of the later promos, I'm sure, he's still just a jungle boy. He's just a boy. There's no boy that's going to take this championship for me, something like that.
All right. So look, so far we've discussed MJF, which you think is a positive of the show, but now we're gonna do the rest of the show. So bear
with us.
I know. So I only have done two segments. I have a total of 16 segments. Okay, so let's try to pick up the pace.
Let's pick up the pace. Let's move on. Yeah, I think we focused on the good parts. Now we're gonna focus on a little bit of the bad, but we're gonna try to go through them a lot quicker.
So. They go backstage, and Alex Marvez is back, and I don't know why, because I guess Renee is on vacation.
Was Renee not there? Yeah, Renee is not there.
It was a Marvez night, so we're back with that. Obviously.
You didn't miss Marvez? Yeah, crickets. Everyone crickets. There's not even you can hear a pin. You can hear a pin.
God, he's just bad. Everybody knows this. Okay, whatever, So he's back. He's back. He interviews Don Callus and Kenny Omega, and Don Callus says that that thing that happened with Hangman Page was a misunderstanding last week, and he wants to apologize and put it behind them, which is weird. They had a weird ending to the show. Like he kind of took a bump and he made it look like Hangman hit him. But I don't get that. Okay, whatever. I think
I'm guessing. I'm just guessing here. I'm leaning towards that's where they're going. Callus is going to be heel. Maybe he's going to be working with Moxley and crew.
But he got nailed by them later in the show. Well, I'll get there. But yeah, he
I don't know what
he got nailed in the face by Moxley. I thought of that too, to be honest. But then they beat his ass too. So okay, all right. So anyway, so Omega has this thing. He has a U.S. title match from the New Japan with Jeff.
Wait, so explain to me. You're smarter than I am. What title is he defending? Did you say he's a U.S. title, but this guy's from Japan? I mean, what is happening here? What title are they actually?
Well,
defending?
you know, Vlad. You're acting like Conan. you know what's going on.
No. I don't know. I may be the wrestling expert, but I don't follow
90s.
Japanese wrestling. Well, yes, from the 90s, but I also don't follow Japanese wrestling. I'm sorry. I stick to the United States as far as I'm willing to go.
Well, okay.
To watch my wrestling.
I'll just tell you, the New Japan titles, they call them the IWGP titles. I don't know what it stands for. The International Wrestling something, whatever. It's
It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Okay, but go on.
Whatever.
But
so they have a world
title,
they have a U.S. title, they have a tag team title. I think they have like a light heavyweight tag team title or something like that.
U.S. title, but they're in Japan. Got it. Makes perfect sense.
I guess. I mean, WWE have a UK championship, or they did for a while. So
That's true.
That's
true. I guess. Yeah. They did have They also had the European Championship, and that's in the 90s.
It's a mid card title, okay? It's just like the U.S. title in WWE.
Right.
I guess for the most part, it's something that could be defended in the United States.
Is there a U.S. champion right now? In WWE?
Austin Theory.
That's right. Duh. Okay, continue.
Austin Theory. Anyway, so Omega is all distracted with this whole drama with the Blackpool Combat Club is beating all his friends up, and he's like he's like distracted. So this is gonna be like the story that comes throughout the show that strings together the whole show. Which I will say, you know what? I think it's kind of good that there's a story that strings together the whole show, and I'll consider that a positive. And
okay, continue.
So so this will come back. This will come back throughout the show. So I'll move on. the next segment. Okay, so the Jericho Appreciation Society are at an amusement park with the Acclaimed, and they're trying to recruit them into the Jericho Appreciation Society, and they paid for everything. They paid for the amusement park tickets, I guess the dinner, and they're trying to treat them nice, and the Acclaimed said, "Well, think about it. We'll get back to you," and they scissored each other, and then that was that. So, what do you think?
Do you want my opinion on this? Okay. I don't even know where to begin. Boy, are they trying to cool off the Acclaimed or what? They're putting them with these jokers. I guess because they lost the title, they really want to cool them off and just put them as like a joke team. I mean, they were always kind of a joke team, but at least they were the champions and they had they were trying to cool them off completely. I don't know if this is intentional or unintentional. I mean, most likely it's unintentional because they wouldn't know how to get somebody over or get someone to cool off, intentionally. So I'm guessing this is unintentional, and this is just unbelievable. They're working with the lower. They're not even working with Jericho and Sammy. They're working with these two. What is their names? God, 2.0. They were 2.0 in NXT, right? Well, what are they? You know these guys better than I do. Unfortunately,
it's Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, and Cool Hand Angelo Parker, and they're with the Jericho Appreciation Society. Yeah, so you don't like, so you think this is too silly. This is too silly for you. You can't take this seriously.
I mean, what is to come of? I mean, they're going to be feuding with, I guess.
Look, they paid for dinner, man, and they ate a lot. It was a lot of food on the table.
So what are they trying to do? Are they trying to get laid? I don't understand. What is the? So they paid for dinner. Okay, good for them, I guess. I didn't care for it. I kind of skipped through it. I thought it was pretty bad. I mean, I don't have a feeling about it one way or the other. I think they're the 2.0. I think, they're Acclaimed. They're trying to cool them off. I don't know why. They were actually pretty over, but I mean, I'm not a big fan of the gimmick myself, the whole scissoring thing. But the people responded and they got themselves over, so you got to give them credit for that. I'm not a huge fan personally. Like, I think the gimmick is dumb. I think it's like really dumb, but people like it. So go with what people like, I guess. Especially if they get themselves over, because it's no thanks to AEW. I mean, AEW. They put them on. Once they started getting a reaction, they started putting them on.
Well, they lost the titles. They're back. They got to feud with somebody. These are Jericho people. Jericho's a name. Are you saying that the?
But they're not feuding with Jericho, are they? They're feuding with, as you said, Cool Hands and Matt Menard and Cool Hand Angelo, whatever. This is like these are the guys that you will see on Rampage or Dark, or not guys that you could have a main event feud with, right? I mean, are they claimed a main event tag team, or are they going to be on Dark now, fighting with Cool Hand and Magic Mike or whoever you just said? Like, what is happening? Like, what is not what is the point? Like, what is the purpose of this angle? Where is it going? Are they going to feud with main event wrestlers, or are they not? Because if they're going to be feuding with these, no offense to, I mean, maybe they're good guys, but come on, they've been treated as a job guys. These Angelo guys, I mean, they're not to be taken seriously. Let's just put it that way. This guy.
I'm a Daddy Magic fan, baby. I watch Elevation. I watch Elevation. He's on commentary.
You and the other maybe 40,000 AEW diehards.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's got a personality. He makes me giggle, and I need to be happy, and I think he brings happiness into my life.
Well, you know what?
But anyways,
God damn it! If he brings happiness into my buddy's life, then he can be a world champion in this company for all I care. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Well, listen. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, we have some problems?
No, I gotta take a break because
okay. Then I ask for more money.
I get hungry. No, and no more money. But listen, I got hungry, and when I get hungry, I immediately reach for Hostess. Whether It'd be Hostess cupcakes, Hostess honey buns, Hostess donuts. You're supposed to say what? Hostess zingers. What? Ding dongs.
Sorry.
What?
What?
Coffee cakes. What?
What?
You name it, man. There's a Hostess snack cake for every situation. Are you tired of that ridiculous diet you're on? You know you're just gonna gain all that weight back anyway, so just forget it. Life's too short. You only have a limited amount of time, so you should be stuffing your face with Hostess. Vlad, which one is your favorite Hostess?
I don't know.
I like
The one
I like the
I like the
cupcakes
Hostess.
myself.
Yeah, I was about to say the cupcakes, but the Hostess that I meet at the restaurants are my favorite. The ones that seat me, and that I go, that find me a nice table, tell me who my waiter are, things like those are the Hostesses. They're like the cupcakes are the only ones that I actually remember as a kid. So I don't remember the honey buns or whatever else I don't remember having Hostess honey buns ever in my life.
The honey buns are good. I like those. I like coffee.
Yeah, I don't
coffee
remember
cakes are
having
good
that.
too, man. You dip them in milk or something. Ooh, melts.
Never had that. I don't think I've ever had that in my life.
Melts in your mouth. Anyways, Hostess.
Yeah.
Thanks to our sponsor, Hostess. All right, and we're back. All right, so we're back. We're reviewing Dynamite. Let's move along. ROH guys coming out. I guess they can just come in whenever they want because it's basically AEW. So Dalton Castle and his boys, they're called, and they get they get bum rushed from the back. Jump started the Blackpool Combat Club. Jump started. They beat their butts on the side of the ring, and then they squash them real quick. And impressive performance. Yeah, I guess it made the point that they're kind of bad guys now. They don't really care.
Sure.
And they don't care to fight with honor or anything. So so Blackpool Combat Club turning heel. Any thoughts?
Yeah, sure. I have plenty of thoughts. Just I don't want to give them on this because I don't care. I mean, this Moxley, not my favorite wrestler. Wheeler Yuta, okay. I mean, there's a limit to how far go. Cesaro.
Hey, they're doing an NWO style, kind of gang beatdown type of thing. This should be something that we could be into. I mean, is there something falling flat about this? You think? Anything you could put your finger on? I don't know.
I just don't think.
It's just the guys.
It's just the guys involved.
They're not the NWO. They're not Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. So they're Wheeler Yuta and Cesaro.
Exactly.
Claudio.
Claudio. Excuse me. Yes.
All right.
My WWE name, but yes. No, it's just not. I don't care. I get it. They're gonna run roughshod over some of the guys, and at least yes, there's some continuity, as that's what they've been doing the last couple of weeks since Moxley has gone full heel, and then they've gone full heel as a group. It's just hard to really care about it. I don't have a positive opinion on it. I'm indifferent. Let's just put it that way. I'm kind of indifferent. But if something interesting happens with it and if something cool happens,
something interesting happened later in the show. We'll get to that.
Oh, did it? Well, that's debatable. That's debatable as far as the word, interesting.
All right.
But
so
something did happen though.
So after that, they had a video package, which I thought, okay, I think this is an improvement because they used to just throw these New Japan guys at us with no fucking story at all, and so they had a little build up for Jeff Cobb. They had showed some of their promos that they did in Japan on each other. So there was something there. Okay, I think this was good. I'm gonna give this a positive. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. Okay, so they're gonna fight later. It's for a title, and okay, this is not horrible. So we move on to backstage. Marvez is with. Well, you wanted to say something?
Well, you know what? No, I'll save it. I'll save it because they're the main event, so I'll save it for the main event. That's fine.
No, they're not the main event. They're coming
They
up
were not the
next.
main event.
They're coming up next.
They're
No, the
they're coming up next.
main event was Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia. So,
I think I'm having a.
yeah, they had Kenny Omega and Jeff Cobb, and
Oh, I'm sorry. This was the main event for me. I
Yes.
must have zoned out after that. Got it.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
So another backstage segment. Marvez is with Hangman Page, and Don Callus comes in to apologize to him or whatever he was gonna do, and then the Blackpool Combat Club again come in and wipe them both out. And I thought Don Callis took a pretty decent bump. You know, it looked good. John Moxley socked him in the face.
That could be just right. It could be either to throw us off our scent to think like, yeah, maybe Callus is going to join them because they need a manager now, right? They don't have Regal's gone back. They need someone to kind of, and who's better than, I guess, Callus. You know, I can see that.
What do you remember him from ECW at all? When he had long hair. What do you think he's really horrible, or is it just that he's been with the elite and this is all? He's been brought down by them.
He's been brought down because of who he's associated with. But that's the only reason. He has a long history in wrestling. He's been known to have a good mind for wrestling, but. You know, I haven't seen any of it here. I don't know his full history like that well. I mean, I know he was in ECW. I know he's been in TNA. You know, for a long time. You know, he was one of the creative minds there. But everything that he's done in AEW has been pretty bad. I mean, for the most part. You know, for the most part. I mean, he could, but he has a good wrestling mind and he can talk on the mic. He's well versed in cutting a promo, but it's just with the Young Bucks and the stuff with Omega, and again we're back with, is Adam Page going to join them? I mean, we've been through this before. It's been back and forth every 2-3 months when they don't have anything to do. They try to figure out how to get Adam Page with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. I mean, it just goes back and forth and back and forth. It's nope. I mean, outside of like their diehard fan base that already loves these guys. Nobody wants to see this, man. Nobody wants to see this.
Hey,
in fact, I'll be rooting for Moxley to wipe them out of the face of the earth.
It's like
go ahead, Moxley. Send them all to the hospital for all I care.
It's like getting back with your ex. You know, you kind of there's drama, and then you kind of might get back with them, and you know. But yeah,
the thing, I just don't care enough about these people to. You know,
to care about their drama.
To care about their drama. The only one that I kind of thought that there was some potential in is Adam Page. But you know, as time goes on, I'm starting to think that it's just not going to happen for him. But you know, he's just going to be what he's going to be. But let's continue. Yes, yes. At least I think your point was before that there's some continuity now in the show that they're kind of going with this storyline. Moxley's group, you know, Blackpool Combat Club, they're attacking everybody. At least that's been going on. At least that's like a story, an angle, right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I mean, when we give our overall grade at the end, I think that kind of
larger purpose, larger point. Excuse me. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, it's an improvement in the sense that they're actually coming back week after week with something. You know, that's just something else. You know, that features this group doing something. Instead of like them attacking somebody one weekend and then they're not shown again for like 2 weeks, or then they're shown in singles competition.
Yeah, there's some continuity here. Okay,
yeah.
It's not the greatest thing in wrestling history, but you know, I'll take it. I'll take it over, you know, just some random matches, you know.
Yes, I'm with you there. We're in agreement.
All right, so up next we had Jeff Cobb coming up against Kenny Omega. I like Jeff Cobb.
Yep.
I think he's an excellent worker. Got a great look. So Shivani goes backstage, tells Omega what happened with Don Callis, and again he's like, "Oh my god, I can't focus on this match," you know, and but he's got to do it anyways.
Yeah. But he's got to figure it out.
So again, continuing with their little story and little stringing together of the show. Okay, I'll give it a positive. So they had their match. I think there was some impressive spots. Again, it's Kenny Omega. He's the spot guy. They had there was a vertical suplex off the top rope that I don't know if you caught it, but
I caught it.
Omega's impressive physically. You know, he can do some crazy stuff. I like how he sells, to be honest. You know, I think some people think he takes too much damage and you know, it's not realistic, but you know, I think he at least makes himself look like he's hurt when he takes a bump. So that's good.
Well, I think, though, I'll just say real quick, I thought this match was a little bit better than his usual matches. I don't know if that's because he was working with Cobb, who is a good worker and looks like a legit, just badass. You know, I am a big fan of Cobb. As far as his look, I don't know that much about him. I think he wrestles like a big guy, though, and I think that kind of match works pretty well with Megan. Like, there weren't that many like crazy high spots. There weren't like the stuff that he was doing with the Viking guy from last week. I mean, which was just mayhem, right? This was like a match. You know, there was at least some semblances of wrestling here. And that's what I liked about it. So, you know, I'm usually very critical of Kenny Omega matches because they're always just not nonsense, chaos, move after move. There's no psychology. There's no real wrestling. It's just video game stuff, right? Here, there was some semblance of wrestling. There was some match. I mean, it was better than his usual work. I'm not going to say that it was perfect or I was in love with all of it, but better than his usual stuff that's on AEW TV.
Oh, yeah, and then at the end, he actually gets him up and puts him in the one-winged angel, which I thought was extremely impressive. Puts him over as a, you know, puts his character over. Like, damn, he's pretty freaking strong. Okay, so I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a pretty good match, personally. I watched it. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was a good match. My only complaint is, why is he wrestling like Jeff Cobb? Like, what is... Like, it's just I mean, like...
Well, he won the U.S. title from Ospreay at New Japan's pay-per-view or something, so he has that title. Okay. And then he has to defend it here and there, and, you know, the forbidden door is open, basically. And why not, I guess. You know, I don't think that's bad. I think it's fine that New Japan comes through every once in a while. Especially if they...
Yeah, go ahead.
Especially if they like they had the video package to catch us up and let us know what's going on over there, then yeah, I'll take it, you know. Because last time they didn't do any of that. They didn't tell us anything. They just threw everyone at us. But this I thought was good. I liked it. I liked the match. There was a little package that set it up. I didn't mind it at all.
I had some issues, but I won't dwell on them because we don't have the time and I don't have the desire. It's fine. Let's just move on to the next segment. That's fine.
So Blackpool Combat Club, they come in, they jump Kenny Omega, and they're about to beat his ass, and then Danielson comes in, who hasn't been on the show for a while since he lost to MJF, and he was on his own for that feud. He never really left the Blackpool Combat Club, but he was kind of being a separate from them just to go for the title. And then he comes in and he teases saving Omega, but right, did you ever really think he was gonna save like Omega? I mean, I thought this was kind of predictable, and the timing on it I think was bad. Like on him actually, like, you know, Kenny Omega kind of stayed on the ground too long, you know, and when he turned around, then Danielson looked like he was gonna kick him, and I didn't think they did it quite well personally. And it was predictable. So I thought the moment didn't really smack like it could have. You know, sometimes when you have like a thing like that where you don't know which way the guy's gonna go, it could be kind of fun, but it didn't really. I don't know. Something fell flat about it. But Danielson is back and he's a heel and he's gonna join the Blackpool Combat Club and they're gonna run roughshod. Okay, so.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. The only thing that I enjoyed is when Danielson was talking crap to Omega when he was down and just saying, "You're what did he say? You're the reason." Something about like basically he's the reason that the wrestling business is, or you're the worst part of the wrestling business. Or something.
Did he? I missed that. I don't know why I missed that. That's really funny.
Yeah. But that was my favorite moment. Is when he basically said what a lot of people had feel. I don't think Bryan Danielson actually believes that himself, so he probably should. But you know, it was a funny moment for us that are not big fans of Omega and actually do think that he's everything that's wrong with wrestling. You know. So
real quick before I take a break and change the memory card. So adding Danielson to the mix, it doesn't excite you at all for this. I mean, he's better than Moxley and Claudio, I guess, and
Yes, I mean it gives them.
Star.
He's a star. He's a former champion. He's a guy that's main evented WrestleManias. He's a legit wrestler. He's considered by many one of the great workers of all time, and I agree. But with this group, I don't know. I've never really felt anything for this group. You know, even when Regal was there, I didn't really feel that they were using them well. I think he's better on his own, and I've always felt he was better on his own. He was better when he was a heel by himself. He's probably better as a face by himself. And him with this group, I don't have any semblance that this is going to be turned into anything. Now, if it ends up being, like I said, exciting or better, okay, I'll eat my words. But for now, I'd rather he be on his own, to be honest. But if so I'm not really excited.
They're also going to feud with the Elite, so maybe
yes.
Yeah, that's looking like where it's headed. True. So I mean, me and you were discussing it the other day. Blood and Guts, possibly War Games, 4-on-4.
Maybe 4-on-4, some sort of cage match.
You don't think that could be a good match?
It could be. It could be. I mean, we know Moxley's ready to bleed at any moment. So yes, he's already told them that he's already said that he's ready to bleed from his asshole to his head if need be. So don't worry, he's ready to go.
All right.
He's ready. My point is that he's ready.
On that note, let's take a break. We'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so next we had FTR and the Guns. They showed a package. Honestly, I kind of skipped over it. I know the story. Nice that they're showing packages. Yeah. Okay. And then the Guns had a promo that I thought was not bad. They had a
backstage
promo, and they were serious. They talk crap about FTR. They talk crap about their dad, and I don't know if I agree with the Guns being champions at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I think that was kind of rushed, but overall, right. But this promo I thought was not bad. I don't know if you remember any of it or if it kind of just flew over your head.
It was, just the fact that they think that FTR are a bunch of losers. They've lost all their last couple of matches. That they don't have any respect for them. The only person that they respected before was their dad. And look how that turned out. Type of thing is basically what they said.
Yeah, you remember. Okay.
Yeah. So they don't care about them. They know they're going to beat them, and they're going to finally put an end to FTR and AEW. Something to that effect.
Do you think FTR is going to lose, or do you think they're gone from WWE? I mean, gone to WWE?
My gut is no. I think they're going to win and they're going to re-sign.
Ugh, God.
Because, well, I know it's unfortunate, but, if they give them the titles and maybe they have them work with a couple of good teams, I mean, is that going to be any worse than what they're going to be doing in WWE? I mean, there's no tag team wrestling that's at all. I mean, even though people are happy with some stuff that's going on in WWE, the one thing I will say, they don't value tag team wrestling at all. I know everybody loves the Usos, but really, who? I mean, I don't know. They had to put a team together with Sami. I mean, I don't want to focus on WWE, but just real quick, they shouldn't go to WWE. That's the point too. They could do other things. They could go to other places. Obviously, there's a lot of places you could wrestle that's not in America. But if they still wanted to wrestle in America, I guess it makes some sense for them to resign.
Well, I think Triple H should do some tag team wrestling, to be honest. So I honestly think he should sign them and use them personally.
Yes, of course, they're fantastic. I agree. They're one of my favorite teams. They're great workers. They're great on the mic. They deliver money matches. Their matches are always superb. Every money match they've ever had has been great. But I just don't see it. I mean, if you watch WWE programming, it doesn't happen. I don't see on their main shows the tag team titles are at all of any value at all. The Usos just fight the same people all the time, and I don't see it being a thing. So I think they might. I think they're going to win. And I think they're gonna just stay for a while. How long? I don't know. I don't know if it's what kind of deal they sign. I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if they came back just to job and leave. I mean, they didn't have to. They didn't have to do that. Why would they do that? So, no, my gut is that they're going to win. Like, they had no reason to just come and lose again one more time. So, I don't see. They already did the job for them once. Like, why would they come back just to job for them again if they were leaving the company? I mean, I don't think they would agree to do that, especially considering there was already tension within. They would only come back if they were going to win.
That's a good point. You know, I guess so. I guess you're right. I mean, I guess a part of me wishes they would kind of go to WWE like Cody did, and Triple H would kind of come to his senses.
Yes. I think when Cody's a single, and it's different. Like I said, there's a thing with tag team wrestling, and just WWE just doesn't have great tag team wrestling. But because it is a lost art, like good tag team wrestling is kind of a lost art, so I can see why. But FTR is still one of the best tag teams in the world, and
All right, look. So I'm gonna move on, and I know you got to go to bed soon because you got work in the morning.
No. Let's continue. We're having fun.
But I don't.
We're having fun here.
I'm the next guy I'm gonna mention. I'm just afraid that you're gonna go off on a long rant, and
no.
If
I know who you're I know who we're going for. I think the next part is it time? Is it time for the mascot for Orange Cassidy? Is it his time?
It's Orange Cassidy versus the Butcher for the International AEW Championship.
Come on, man.
You're not a fan. You're not a fan. Okay, look. I mean.
Are you gonna start defending? Because if you're gonna defend, I'll zone out. I'll zone out for the next 10 minutes if you're gonna start defending.
I'm not gonna defend him, but I just think that there have been times where he caught me off guard and he kind of amuses me. But overall, the push he's getting is pretty ridiculous. I think I can't say I hate him, but I think the push is undeniable. That nobody can agree with this. Like, I've been hearing even people, like, I talk to people at my work about wrestling sometimes, and customers come in and they're like, "What's up with Orange Cassidy? Every single episode he's on the show, like nobody else gets this kind of run." So you don't like him. You think, because I know you. We've talked about this, and you think the joke was old the second time he used it, I guess, right? So.
I don't even understand why this guy is allowed to go out there and just make a mockery of the business like that. I mean, I understand it's a comedic
Toni Khan must find him hilarious, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, Toni Khan, what he finds funny. But anyways, I mean, no, I'm not gonna, no, I hate it. I hate it every bit about it. It's embarrassing. It's ridiculous for it to go on this long, to just be stuck in this ridiculous character, and to consistently show him and have him put on our television sets to watch it. It's dumb. And then spreading the blade. What in the world? Like, who?
No, the
wants
butcher.
To see,
the butcher.
Excuse me, fighting the butcher, the blade. I mean, the candlestick maker. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nobody's watching this. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this match. I'm sorry.
So you forward every time Orange Cassidy comes on? Like, if you're not watching live and you could skip, you skip.
Unless he's in the ring with someone I kind of care about a bit, yes. But the Butcher, I mean, come on.
Well, the Butcher, the guy, they tried to beat him up before the match, before the bell rang. So they were trying to use some strategy. The bell hadn't rang yet.
Oh, yeah.
And they try to get a jump start, and then the blade, his friend even came in and hit him with the crowbar when the referee wasn't looking.
And he hit him, and he still kicked out.
And he nailed him, and he kicked out. Yes, so he's like invincible. He's got superpowers or something. Right, Vlad.
Showing him. Keep showing him if you want your show to fail. Keep showing him.
Well, listen, Vlad. Something happened with your internet, and you got cut off for a second. But
oh no!
But I assume you said that you what did you say? Keep showing him.
Bottom line, yes. Keep showing him if you want your show to fail. Just keep showing him if you want the company, if you want the segments to, if you want people to turn off their their TVs or whatever they're watching and forward through if they're watching it on some streaming thing, whatever. Forward through that segment. Keep showing them.
Well,
But,
the AEW
you know,
faithful at the arenas always put him over. They always like him. You know, the diehards.
well, don't get me
the
started on
diehards.
that. Don't
Yeah,
get me
I
started
know.
on that because you know what I always say. Those people would cheer if somebody just pooped right in the middle of the ring. So they don't count. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, they don't count. They cheer.
All
They
right.
cheer everything. They cheer everything.
All right, fine. Let's move on since we want to talk about other things on the show. But he did win, and best friends came out and helped him out.
Did they have a hug after? Because otherwise,
Yes,
I would
well-
I would riot if they didn't.
Well, they did. They gave the people what they want. So
Success. That must have. I think the rating must have gone through the roof as soon as they hugged. You know, just that feeling of joy overtook everyone.
yes.
Yeah.
So in the
Okay.
next segment we had a pre-tape, which I thought was bad because they tried to put music in the background, and it was Jade with her lawyer and her hot girlfriend, Layla Gray, right? And then
Layla Gray, yeah.
So
Yeah.
so they're mad that Taya Valkyrie is using her move, and I mean, look, I have an opinion about this, but
I'm glad. Yes.
you want me to give my opinion about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
I'm all ears.
Well, look, at this point, Jade's got a great look, but dude, she's not a great worker. There's no reason why Taya Valkyrie shouldn't beat her. I think Taya's got a good look. I think she's got experience in the business. She works okay from what I've seen. It would make her. She looks kind of cool. She looks like a star. She's big. She could pull off good moves, and I would end the streak here because this streak is not. It's not doing anything for anybody, and I think this is as good a time as anybody to put somebody over and make somebody look good, I guess. And the whole thing with her stealing her move and trying to make it look like it's a legal issue, like it's just not good. I mean, I like Jade. I think she's got a good look, but nothing's happened with this feud. She's just beating job people, you know, and racking up wins. And it's not.
Sure.
It's not doing anything for anyone. I don't know. You have anything to say about it?
I agree. I'm not going to go too much about it. I agree. The fact that she's racking up all these wins is great, but like she's not working with anyone. There's really not much else to say. I'm not sure if Valkyrie should win, but I don't really see an upside right now with what they're doing with Jade. I mean, I understand that they see something in her, but she's not. What is the point of like? She's not feuding with any of the other main women on the roster. It's like she's doing her own thing. Like, what is the purpose of it? Like, she's not feuding with Jamie Hayter. She's not feuding with Toni Storm. I mean, so she's not feuding with the other main women, right? So she's just there against all these other people, but nobody cares really about. So I don't know what their plan is for her, but nobody cares about this. No, I mean, people are skipping this. I'm sure the majority of people are skipping this. Only again, the true AEW. I'll watch anything. I'll watch anything. Are watching this with and cheering this on and wanting to see more of this. They will watch anything.
All right, moving on. Juice Robinson. Any thoughts? I like him.
Juice Robinson. I have no opinion on. I don't care about Juice Robinson.
I think he's got a personality. I like his facials. You know, he tries to, you know, do something with his face to entertain people. You know, he's
right.
You know, he's like the opposite of, you know, what Cornette calls Johnny Gargano, Johnny Same Face. That doesn't show any personality. I think he's cool. You know, okay, so he's feuding with Ricky Starks. I mean, it came out of nowhere. I don't know. I don't like how they did it, but you know, I like throwing him into the mix personally. I kind of like him personally. Well,
I will have to see more. I don't know too much about him. I'll say that much. I know. I'm sure I think he's a Ring of Honor talent. If you correct me if I'm wrong, but I have to see more. I haven't seen anything that blew me away so far, but we'll see.
All right, so we got up next Willow Nightingale versus Ruby Soho, and she's coming out with
Yeah.
her friends Soraya and Toni Storm, the Outcasts, and they turned heel. However they did it, now they're heels, and I mean I don't know if you got any thoughts on the Outcasts. They spray paint people like the NWO, and they try to be asshole girls. And I mean, any thoughts on them? I mean, they're hot, right? They got a good look.
Either go make some food, go to the bathroom, make your hot beverage of the evening, and prepare to go to sleep soon, because this is not something to even consider. Okay, that's my thoughts on this, and it is because of the women's division. It is because the women's division is really bad. It's really bad. There's, they shouldn't. They should not be comparing themselves to the WWE women at all. The WWE has elite women wrestlers. These guys are amateurs for the most part. Very few would ever even make it out of the developmental. In AEW women. I mean, it's the worst women's division of all time. I mean, I would say so. I think
it's unusual because these girls were kind of not bad in WWE and NXT, and now they're just it just doesn't feel good at all. You're right. Something about it. There's something about it. Like it's kind of tacky that they stole the NWO spray paint thing, right? When they spray paint them, you can't even see what they spray painted. It just looks like, I guess they're trying to spray paint an L, but it doesn't really look like anything.
It's supposed to be L for what? For a loser?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
You're a loser.
You're a loser.
I guess.
Right? And of course Riho's involved, and and she didn't come out with the pipe this week. That's bigger than she is.
You're skipping ahead. Yeah, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were already on that. I skipped ahead. I want to skip to the end of the show already. Okay, continue.
Well, if you were Cornette, you could just rip up everything and be like, all right, I didn't watch the rest. Fuck it, But
well, I definitely didn't watch this closely. I just remember the Riho did come out, and she saved the day. Oh no, I'm sorry. Jamie Hayter saved the day, but Riho also came out.
She tried to save the day, but you're right. She did bring the pipe because they were about to spray paint, everybody, and
they were going to spray paint her. They were going to spray paint
Riho too, and Sky Blue, and then Jamie Hayter saves the day. I mean, you're right. I mean,
I'm right. This is utter shit.
I mean, look, all these girls got great looks. They're in shape. They're working hard. Jamie Hayter's in great shape. Soraya's in good shape.
Hayter, I like.
Toni Storm, Ruby Soho. I mean, all these girls they all look good. They got good looks. They got a character going, but there's something about this that's just not coming off, I guess. So Jamie Hayter comes out and runs everybody off, all the heel girls, all by herself.
And I guess Jamie and Riho are gonna have a title match. Did you know this was coming? I mean,
that's gonna. It's gonna be good.
That's gonna be fantastic. Maybe I think Riho should be clean, right in the middle.
All right.
I think that would be like the ultimate.
All right, one last break, and I think we could finish the show with one more segment. Hold on.
Sure.
All right, and we're back. We're coming close to the end of the show here. I mean, it's AEW. It's classic AEW to kind of have a lot of their good stuff earlier the show, and then it kind of tails off. I think they just think they're going to lose viewers maybe, and they kind of make the show kind of top heavy, and or maybe not. Maybe they think this main event coming up is pretty good. The Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia.
They do. The sad thing is they think this is great. They're very. I'm sure they're thrilled.
Well, before we get to that, before we get to that, there was one last thing. There was a Hobbs pre-tape, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh my god.
Well, look, at least it wasn't on QTV, right?
You took the words right out of my mouth. You literally took the words. I said, at least he wasn't with QT this week, but I don't understand what's going on. What they're doing with this guy that could be a monster heel. I'm throwing my hands up. I give up. I don't know. Yes, he should be something. He's been put in with QT, and they're doing some kind of TMZ.
Well, maybe they're giving up on it.
And I don't know.
Maybe they're giving up on it. I mean,
you shouldn't have QT anywhere near him. He just needs to be a monster heel, and he looks great, and he had this great story, the Book of Hobbs, and how his brother died, and all this stuff that we always talked about, those promos that he was cutting for a while, about like having to clean up blood from his porch. And what are we doing now? What do we got? What do we got? What is this? What from that? Why is it from that comes this? It doesn't even compute. They don't know what to do with this guy. They never know what they're doing, and it's laughable. I'm gonna stop it there because I don't want to go too much in a rant.
Yeah, I mean, I just
very bad.
I don't remember exactly what he said. I just I wrote a note. It wasn't great, but at least it wasn't QTV. That's all I got here. So
that's all that needs to be said. I think we had the same thought. You took the words out of my mouth. At least he wasn't with QT.
Maybe they'll drop that. We'll see. We're not sure yet.
I hope so.
Yeah,
that would be better than yes. Let's hope so.
All right, so we're on to our big main event. It's Adam Cole's return, which is a big deal. It's been in the works for a long time. They've actually been hyping it up, which is...
They have, yes.
And they had a face-off last week. My Adam Cole talking... No, my Daniel Garcia talking trash face. Like, what are you going to do, huh? What are you going to do? It always cracks me up every time. Because he's like the farthest thing from like a hard ass, but he tries to act like one. So
yes.
Daniel Garcia amuses me. I don't think he should be in a prominent spot, really on the card. But I don't.
He amuses you like a clown would amuse you. But anyway, continue. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to put it that far, but. Anyway, so these guys had a match. Adam Cole got a big pop. He's so over with these fans. They all remember him from NXT and everything. And
yeah, I mean from NXT, from wherever he's been, Japan, Ring of Honor, all those places. Yeah. No, I mean he's a worker. He can work. I mean, you could say a lot of negative things about Adam Cole, but I've always. Before he got to AEW, I liked some of his stuff. I told you that. I mean, I didn't see a lot of it, but I did see some of it. And yeah, he has a problem that he's very skinny, and some might say it makes him a little unbelievable. But I think he's still he's a better worker than a lot of these other guys. So there could be something done with him, and I think it would be a shame if some of the stuff that he did, like the good stuff that he did on NXT, they couldn't do something with him on AEW. I mean, when I say a shame, I mean that's what's going to happen. Like nothing's going to come from his run here in AEW, but it would be nice if something did.
I think
I know you don't like. I know you don't like him. I know you don't.
I'm not a huge fan personally, but if they have an idea and they just go through with it, okay, fine. At least they're not. Just cutting off an angle. They're doing.
Now you don't like him, but let's be clear. Why don't you like him? You don't like him because of how he looks. The look of this because he's so thin.
It's not even that he's thin. I mean, he just doesn't look like a fighter. I think he doesn't. There are small people, but like in WWE and everybody, they at least they look like they work out. They got arms. They eat their protein.
Right.
They eat their 200 grams of protein every night and.
And they're lifting weights.
Pump iron, yeah. So I'm sorry, I mean, there needs to be some believability that this guy can kick your ass with something other than a off the top rope drop kick. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, he's a decent talker. He's got a personality and.
He's got a personality.
So.
And yes, there's a lot of diehard fans that do love him. I will say that, but he's definitely not my favorite, but. I don't hate him, and I don't dislike him as I do some of the other guys that are prominent on this show. So he could. I mean, yes, the way he was used when he first came in was really bad, but maybe there could be maybe he could be salvaged. Is my point. Maybe it could be salvaged. It's not too late. I don't think it's too late. But.
So he wins as expected.
Yeah.
There were a couple of pile drivers, which I'm like, I don't know if these amateurs should be trying to do pile drivers, honestly. He just come out for concussion. Like, come on.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
they're trying to make it scary for the audience, make it believable that, I don't think they need to go there personally. It's a problem with all these storylines with WWE AEW, that they'll start something and then people get hurt and then they have to like abandon it, like CM Punk. Like they can do safer matches. Honestly, people they're not going to cry if there wasn't a pile driver in this match.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I mean, them delivering the pile driver is one of. I mean, yes, it's a dangerous move. The stuff that they do, on a weekly basis on the show is way worse, in my opinion. Than at least this was like. This wasn't like a crazy match. This was kind of at least a wrestling match. At least that was my biggest thing, and that's why I didn't hate the match. I didn't watch it like move for move or that closely or that thoroughly to have like it.
Well, as Vlad's feed cuts out again, we're gonna have to deal with this and talk about it later. But Vlad, you froze up. I don't know if you could hear me right now. I don't know why this happens.
Talk about that. You can discuss as far as then the closing of the show as he won. Right? Is that where we're headed next to? He won. Britt came out. His real life girlfriend came out. They had a hug and a kiss. There's confetti flying. Okay, so it looks like they're trying to make it seem like they're going to do something with this guy going forward now. I don't know what the confetti. I mean, just for that he came back. I mean, that's also weird.
Yeah, but I know. You see, you're stealing my next point, bro. Okay, so I have a big problem with the confetti. I thought this was. I was actually gonna give this show a B minus up till this point, which I think is a good grade. I think that's solid.
Yeah.
And then
we're gonna give the show B minus, but go ahead.
And I thought there was the storyline. I thought the Omega match was okay. I thought MJF, and so I was gonna give it a B minus, which in today's day and age I think that's a really good grade for a wrestling show. But then the fucking the confetti comes around, like, what the hell is this, dude? He just beat.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
He beat Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, it's like he just won the world title. It's like he had just accomplished some amazing feat. He beat Daniel Garcia. What? You're right.
Britt Baker comes out and kisses him. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't mind the Britt Baker coming out. I don't mind that part. I don't mind like them hugging or kissing because that makes sense. Like they've been talking about like how everything that he had to do to come back. That everybody knows that they're a real life couple. Fine. But yeah, the confetti though threw me for a loop. I didn't until you. Yeah. Now that you brought it up, yeah, it was nonsensical. It made no sense.
Well, I guess
why?
I think the logic behind it is that it was an incredible journey to come back from injury at all. Just the fact that he's back out there.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to retire or that he could never come back from this, and they're trying to be nice. Toni Khan is a nice guy, and he's like encouraging them. I guess I get it, but dude, I don't know. So because of that, I give it a C plus, which I think was your grade too, originally.
No, I think mine was either a C or a C minus. I could be nice. I could give it a C if you want. I'll be nice. I'll be nice to the handicap, and I'll give them a C.
Gosh, that's kind of harsh, but okay.
I said nice. I'm being nice to them for
can't call them handicap, man. We're supposed to be PC here. We're not trying to get in trouble. Remember?
How's handicap is a PC word? I think disabled. What can you say in today's world?
Well, just because they can't.
They're wrestling disabled. What? You can't say that?
I don't know.
Well, you can cut it off if you want. You can cut the spiel out.
I'm like scared to do a podcast because I don't know what offends people. But
no, I don't think I think you could say disabled or handicapped. I think you could say that.
Anyway, so last thing though, Jericho comes out and it looks like he's gonna feud with Adam Cole, I guess, right? So looks they're teasing a feud between Jericho and Adam. Jericho came out and you know consoled Daniel Garcia, brought him to the back like he was his son.
Yeah, and he just kept right, and he kept yes, and he kept looking back like he just wanted to attack Adam Cole, and Cole was just standing there, and he just kept looking back, giving that Jericho face, and just kept looking. I don't know. I mean, does anyone really want to see this? I'm not really too excited.
Yeah, exactly. Like if
stuff.
they're gonna try to build up Adam Cole, like gosh, like Jericho, okay, but I don't know. This comes to be a problem because anytime the Elite, right, or Jericho are gonna feud with someone, you basically aren't interested, right? Is that
No, but the thing is, who? Yes, but then who? The question then becomes, who can he feud with? Like, who should he feud with? There's
So yeah, so
not
you're
exactly-
saying he shouldn't be on the show anymore, basically.
No, not necessarily. I'm just saying, who do they have on the roster that he can feud with? Because there's not. They don't have a lot of options here. Is what I'm saying. I think that's my main point. There's not exactly a lot.
No,
of...
I meant Jericho.
Oh, the Jericho shouldn't be on the show. I see. Well, yeah, I would like him to take a break. I've been wanting him to go away for a while. He just refuses to. He
That's
refuses
true.
to give up any of the spotlight. I'd like him to go tour for Fozzy for a year or something. Can you go away for a bit? I mean, he's been there for a while now, and then he does the broadcasting on Rampage, and he's just not good at any of those things. And I'd like him to go for a bit because while when the company first formed, he was really good. It's all been downhill after that. It's all been downhill. So I'd like him to
and
just
there is a thing in wrestling too
go.
that if you go away for a while, people start to miss you, and at least you could have a comeback and return and stuff like that. I mean,
that would be the hope. That would be the hope for him. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
he has never
needs
taken a
to-
break. Like of all the wrestlers in AEW have gone away for a while. Like they want breaks. They don't want to work 52 weeks a year. Like Jericho is like he works every single week for the whole entire time. And
Yeah, I think there's been very few shows that I can think of on the top of my head. I think he's been off a couple times. Like he hasn't been there, but for the most part, he's been there, and he's, he needs an extended break. Like he needs to go away for months, if not a full year, to be honest. Because I think it's stale at this point. It's stale.
Yeah, me too. I think so too. All right, man. Well, look, that was fun. I know, like, I don't want to beat this show to death. I think that was good enough. We reviewed AEW. We'll talk more wrestling maybe. If we'll see if I'll slap this show together and try to output it into a file on video, and we'll see if it comes out on YouTube or I don't know. I think it was good. I think it was a good first run. I don't know what the show's gonna be called. To be honest, I was thinking about calling it Quantum Flux Wrestling, but Quantum Flux.
What is the quantum flux?
Quantum, you don't know.
What is that reference?
Well, it's a quantum mechanics reference. About atoms. You never read about quantum physics at all. It's like the study of
quantum physics.
It's like the study of atoms. That nobody knows what the electron in the atom looks like because they're so freaking small. So there's this theory that the electrons are in a state of quantum flux because they're moving so fast that sometimes they don't even exist. They might move in and out of existence.
Wow, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So to me, I relate it to wrestling because some things move in and out of existence. Not Jericho, but some things come and go. Wrestling has its peaks and valleys. It has its things that are popular for a while. It's wrestlers that are popular for a while, and then they go away and they disappear. So I don't know. To me, but I don't know if that's taken yet or if there's a copyright on it. So.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's an interesting name. I kind of like it once you've explained it.
Yeah, flux capacitor, from.
Oh yeah.
From
Back to the
Future. So I'm a big fan of quantum physics, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos about the theories of the universe and stuff like that. And to me, it's all incredible. And my favorite thing in all the universe is pro wrestling.
of everything you've ever watched,
Yes.
our favorite thing is pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
there's
it. I
there's
like it.
girls.
in the universe. Girls.
Nah, I think second. That would be close second.
Oh, I see. Wait, so girls are first or girls are
No,
second?
wrestling first, women second.
All right, bro.
So nerdy.
Well, I think
So
you should. I think you should wrap. I think you should wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. All right, till next time, Vlad. You're the man, dude. Never forget it.
I won't. I will not.
All right, dude. We'll talk soon.
All right, take care.
Later.
Bye.